Hello, today I want to review the VZ-55, the Czechoslovakian heavy tank. This tank has a magazine of 2 shells with 490 alpha damage each and 2.5 seconds intra-grip reload. The full magazine is loading 21.75 seconds and it's resulting in 2400 DPM. The accuracy it's fine here with 0.34 and aiming time is 2.61. So the gun was nerfed some time ago, and previously it had much better aiming time and dispersion and also 2 seconds intra-grip reload. But the question is it still a good tank? So in total I have 2360 hit points here. That's not much, so it is really missing some hit points, and with the basics, if I would remove the hardening, it would have 2100 hit points, also without modernization. It is going 54 top speed, this is also with modernization and so on, and the view range is fine here. So I'm using here hardening to have more HP because the HPs are really missing here. Ventilation to improve the gun's characteristics, and stabilizer to also improve the stabilization and reduce the total aiming time. As modernization, I'm using maintaining speed, then aiming speed to be able to shoot my shells faster. And in this tank you won't shoot so much on distance. Here I'm adding up view range just because, well, in this tanks you can save yourself from artillery pretty often because this is not a tank sitting in a position and playing. This is rather a support tank where you go around corners and try to trade your HP. Here I'm using plus 4 kilometers speed to not put turbine on it. If you put turbine on it and you have that option, you will go 59 top speed, so that's pretty fast. Here I am reducing a bit the hit points. Well, here you can do whatever you want. If you want more hit points, you'll actually get a decent stack here of 90 hit points. But I chose to rather improve the gun more. As crew perks, I'm using Brothers in Arms, then those ones are important repairs, and then concealment. Here, Brothers in Arms, snapshot, repairs, concealment, and then whatever you want. Here, Brothers in Arms, off-road driving, smooth ride, repairs, and here, whatever you want. And here, Brothers in Arms, repaired, intuition. It depends on what type of shells you are playing. If you're only playing gold ammo, then you don't need it, but if not, then you need intuition. As for the shells, you have 2 types of shells and 260 millimeters with armor piercing rounds, 900 shell velocity, and those rounds APCR with 306 penetration and 1125 shell velocity. So the shell velocity is fine, but the penetration is really missing here. And with 40 millimeters a shell drop on distance, and also the shell being APCR, so not being as effective as, for example, armor piercing rounds or heat. So the gold ammo is one of the worst ones in this tank, but if you're able to penetrate tanks, then you are fine. Well, the HE, well, 68 penetration is not good with 640 damage. So, here, this is, you should use those directives, but what you can do if you want to go even faster or you don't have the modernization yet, I would recommend to put the turbocharger instead of the ventilation. That would also improve the reverse speed, and the reverse speed with 15 is not perfect. So it can sometimes get discomfortable with 15 reverse speed. So we have two builds, this one and this one. As for the armor model, everything is pretty simple here. The lower plate is easily penetrated. The upper plate is kind of well armored. Sometimes you may tank with the upper plate, but against gold rounds it isn't effective. And for the turret, everything is good armored here. You see here the total turret is not penetratable, but the weak point of the turrets are its two commander hatches. So this one and this one. So where you should shoot would be this one, because it's pretty big and this is pretty small. As for side scraping, you can side scrape on the tank. It has a pretty good side armor with 90 millimeters. But well, you shouldn't over peak, and depending on the angle, this part here will be penetrated. So here, as for the battle, I am on Malinovka. That's a pretty, well, not the best map for a heavy tank, but it will go fine. So the advantages here for this tank are that I can reach my position pretty fast with the 54 kilometers per hour I have. And it will take a while to reach this position. So the point before the nerf of this tank was that it had 980 damage in 2 seconds. So you could shoot about 1000 damage in just 2 seconds. And the point is that it is still doing its thing, but now with 2.5 seconds intra-clip reload. So, as you will see in this battle. So to say, the nerf was not really much impacting this tank. It was impacting, yes, it was impacting, because the gun handling is not as good as it was, but it's still fine, and it's not being uncomfortable. So you see, I'm trying to shoot something here. I'm finishing the CVP off. Yes, it took some time for me to aim here, and for the second shell, I was just shooting it to be able to reload. Well, one downside always for this tank, for the magazines are always, if you have one shell left, the question whether you have to shoot or not. That's a problem. Here you see, X M4 standing with a side, 2 penetrations, one for 532, that's good high roll, and 481, resulting in about 1030 damage. So that's like a Yak Panzer E100 would be here and would have shot into his side. But this tank is much faster. See, one shot into here and another one, resulting in 1050 damage. And while, yeah, we were speaking about Jagdpanzer E100, that's exactly the alpha damage of a Jagdpanzer E100, 1050. So I'm already with 2200 damage here. But the problem here is the IS-7, kind of. One shot here for 160. And now I'm just reloading because I see the IS-7 won't peak. Probably won't peak as much anymore. And it would be better to have 2 shells loaded. I guess this was a shot into my commander hatch. This was actually a lucky shot here, that I managed to finish him off. So now on the hill it's only the IL-7 left. So it's fun when you load those 1000 damage in. And then it's always nice to think that this tank was nerfed. So the point of the tank wasn't nerfed at all. It can still deal good damage here, and the alpha damage is just so good here. With first shot 527 and the second one 502. So I can destroy him. So like I already said, this tank is really doing its point with just getting this 1000 damage in and then just 20 seconds of reload. So 20 seconds it's really acceptable. While the Jagdpanzer E100, I'm comparing it with the gun. Well, it can't be really compared because the Jagdpanzer E100 has much better caliber and penetration. But from the damage, this tank, the VZ55, is still really fun to play. But the only downside of this tank is if you have a map like where you really need to position yourself and stand in one position, this tank is not made for it because of its weak spot on the turret. But if you can just drive around the map and shoot tanks into the back like you saw, or into its side, then this tank is good. And also the speed is really comfortable here. Personally, I like fast tanks, and this tank is good with its speed. Well, yes, he was almost out the corner, so I didn't manage to get my second shot into him. My whole team is rushing this position here. So they are doing it good, rushing it in like one unit. Yeah. Not able to kill him. And now, for now, I'm keeping my shell and killing the artillery with it. So this magazine is... It's good. Yeah. I had no time to ram him. It's only 2 tanks left, the EBR and the 114 SP2. Oh, here, I managed to snapshot him. And now I'm trying to snipe the EBR. But he's He's driving kind of behind the houses and he gets destroyed by the FV. So that's it for this battle. So in total, I managed to deal 6,628 damage, 5 kills, 701 assists, and also tanked 1 shot. And this is resulting in the first class with 1,199 experience. Well, I lost some credits here because I was shooting gold ammo. That is pretty expensive. And to sum it up, I would recommend to grind this tank and then use the magazine gun. It also has another stock gun. But I would still recommend using this gun just because of the possibility to deal about 1000 damage in 2.5 seconds. Like and subscribe, and bye.